Hey everybody, Seafood Pekor here with my student Tyler, and we're just going to demonstrate the progression that we use for our in-contact skills and our out-of-contact skills. So we'll start with the in-contact skills. So the first thing we usually do is learn how to play a balance game. In Tai Chi they would call it push hands, where you have, let's say, your left foot in front, other foot, and we connect at the wrist, and we have some sort of starting pattern. But then the whole game is trying to maintain your own balance while trying to off-balance the other person. And then we would start again. So say Tyler pushes me, I try to fight it off, I get pushed. We start again. Maybe next time he tries to push me again, and I take advantage of it and I move him. So this is the first level, push hands, just a balance game. Next level, we don't have to keep our feet fixed in place. We can shuffle backward or forward, but we cannot change which foot goes in front. So there's a little bit more freedom, a little bit more movement. So say Tyler pushes me. If I go back like this, we're still in action. I didn't lose my balance. I just moved my position. So that's the second form, called restricted step. Then we have a type of play where once we start the action, we're allowed to move our feet, and we're trying to pull the person, push the person, spin them, push them out of a circle or out of some boundary. So that's a very free play. So these are just balance games. Now we add striking. So let's say the fixed step version where you can't move your feet. We start out, and as we're playing our balance game, maybe Tyler tries to stick a shot in, I deflect it, I try to stick some shots in, right? We're deflecting. So this is how we introduce the striking into the basic level game. Then we have the restricted type, where let's say we're striking, but Tyler strikes at me, I can shuffle back and we continue on, right? So we have that freedom of footwork. And then again, the moving game, where I'm off balancing him, I'm striking, but we're in contact the whole time. And I'm trying to control his balance, ruin his posture to create opportunities to hit. So those are all the things we do in contact. Now we'll talk about the non-contact drills. So we start from a regular boxing stance. So Tyler, you take like a typical boxing stance. He's got his guard up, his hands are near his jaw. He can block easily when something's coming in. We learn to cover up the areas, the temple, the jaw. He's covering that with a strong forearm, good balance, good posture. So he's got the head covered. If I go to his ribs, he pinches his elbow against his body. If I go to the center, he covers up in the middle with his elbows. He never drops his hands. So the drill would be, let's say, me starting out easy, just giving him some basic stuff to work on. Then we would introduce some movement. So now we circle around a little bit. I throw a shot, right? Circle around a little bit. Throw maybe 2 shots. He's covering up. So he's learning how to cover. Also from his boxing stance, he knows that if I hold up this pad, my right hand, he's going to use his right hand to throw a right-handed shot. If I hold up the left pad, he uses his left hand so he can turn his hips into the strike. Yep. If I want an uppercut from Tyler, I hold the pad at his jaw level. He throws the uppercut. And if I want a hook, I throw it, I put it out this way. He knows that means throw me the hook. Also, we do chain punches from Wing Chun. You know the chain punches, right? So I can hold it, he's chain punching, and as I start to move, he's got to stick with it. Or I might move towards him and he's got to keep his distance. I might move sideways. Okay, so we have the basic idea. Now we add me counter-striking. So let's take the most basic thing. He's just in his boxing stance, we're not moving around. He throws the punch when I hold the pad. Uppercut. But at any time, I could swing on him in the middle of it, right? So he's throwing a punch, double punch, right? And then I decide I'm going to attack. Then we add movement. And the final thing is that we blend. We start with an in-contact drill. Start with your wrists in any position you want as long as they're in contact. Could be my 2 wrists on the outside, or on the inside, or one here, the other one inside. And then just from there, we start some motion. And from that motion, we go into the drill. Maybe Tyler's striking at me, we end up separated, and then we go into a distance game, right? So we're kind of sparring. So let's spar a little bit, right? Hit. When we get in close, the skills we learn in the push hands come into play, right? I'm trying to get my shots in. I'm moving, I'm covering, I'm faking. Very good. Well, first we bow to each other. Thank you. And that's the basic progression.